Alright, hello guys, OverBidden here. This video is gonna be me talking about my experience of climbing another account from low gold to Diamond 50 LP. And today's date is August 5th, 2018. And let's get things started. So at about 2 weeks ago, more like 20 days ago, I climbed one account to Diamond 50 LP by playing 80 games on TF. That's July 13th, 2018. And that account was right here. And I play a little bit more after that, and I climbed it to Diamond 4 and then dropped back to Diamond 5. And I stopped playing it. The reason that I stopped playing on this account was that about almost 50% of the time when I play on this account, I feel like my lane opponent, mid-lane opponents are getting stronger, especially if they are maining mid-lane or maining a few champions mid-lane. I couldn't really have a good landing phase comparing to earlier times when I was climbing. So I was really trying to improve my landing phase, specifically TF for my early game. So I went into a lot of 1v1s, but the 1v1s, it's hard to find a good training partner. And my solution to that is to play on a brand new account, which have not played a placement match for Season 8 at all. I just decided to play the placement match and then just see how much I can climb up. Another reason is that, well, I feel like I did the climbing on that account pretty fast, and maybe it was because of lag, right? And maybe my way of playing cannot work at a lower EO, so to speak. And TF is not really a carry champion, especially at the low EO. He plays the map. A lot of times you play like give you an example, he plays like Steve Nash, right? If you watch basketball, right? He's a point guard. Right? If you watch football, he's kind of like what is it? Oh, come on, I don't watch football. Quarterback, there we go. Okay, he doesn't really score the touchdown himself. Okay, what he does is to pass the ball, to be the brain of the map. He plays the map, he applies pressure. And then in order to win the game, you need your teammates. So, and then because the design of the champion, he doesn't necessarily win the landing phase. And oftentimes he's weaker in the mid-lane matchups. So by playing from low EO all the way up, there's a lot of different play styles, right? Different people, right? That they care about the jungler, they don't care about the jungler, and then your jungler a lot of times don't really respond. So if they are Zed or Yasuo, they can just play under your turret, but you never get a gank. You're gonna like practice your landing phase, right? Practice your ability to absorb pressure. So for that reason, I decided to play on this account. So when I started, it was at about a few days after I finished climbing on the other account to Diamond. July 22nd. I believe my first placed in Gold 4, not Gold 3. So I was placed in Gold 3, Gold 4, and after a week I only climbed to Platinum 4. I had a lot of fun playing from gold, from low gold to low platinum. I was streaming every single game. I did 2 24-hour stream. I duel with pretty much everybody that wants to duel with me. It's just a lot of fun playing. But in terms of climbing, it was really slow. So at that point, at about July 29th, which is last Sunday, after streaming for about like July 29th, 28th, 27th, 26, 24, pretty much every single day for about a week, I decided it's time to just get serious and then start climbing. And here I also want to thank Flintstone. So I believe on that day, on last Sunday, I was streaming and I didn't really have a particularly good day. I was stuck at Platinum 5 for 3 days, I believe. You see right here, I was like 26, I was already at Platinum 5, and then I was still Platinum 5. So I stopped for 3 days, and I finally climbed up. So when I was stuck in here, Flintstone, which is a really interesting fellow that always trolls me when I stream, he's like, you are a Diamond 4, Diamond 5 player, and he cannot climb out of Platinum 4 or Platinum 5, blah blah blah. Well, it's all part of the troll. But it kind of triggered me, so it's like, okay, god damn it, I'm not gonna string anymore. I'm just gonna climb right to Diamond, and then before I climb to Diamond, there will be no stream. And then after the week, I got 0 LP Diamond 5, right? So yeah, streaming really limit my ability to climb. Reason is that, well, I always try to be funny, right? I always look at the chat, so my focus wasn't there. And then every time I string, I always play like maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, sometimes even more. And then talking, right? Constantly talking, like no rest for that long period of time without like long rest in between games is always bad in terms of quality, having a quality gameplay. Also, my PC lags. I don't know why, but shouldn't be the case. Whenever I stream and play, it feels that my ping just at least doubles, right? My ping doesn't show, my FPS doesn't show, but the smoothness of the gameplay just really decreased. It's really hard to dodge skill shot. The movement becomes responsive. So I can honestly say that when I stream, I can play at most at my 70%. So streaming is bad for my climbing. It's a lot of fun, right? So it's a trade-off. But for the last week, I decided to not have fun and then just be seriously climbing. Okay, so let's talk about some takeaways that I learned, or some ideas that have been reinforced through this climb. First of all, my inspiration from this climb comes from Dopa, right? Dopa, after getting rank 1 in China, he kind of stopped playing in China for a little bit, and he went back to Korea to play. And then earlier, by earlier I mean about 2 weeks ago, he was spamming TF. Nowadays he's not spamming TF anymore, and he stopped playing 4 days ago, and he went back to Chinese server, which is a little bit sad. But anyway, he reached rank 24, and then he was playing a tons of TF. I wasn't able to watch the replays, sadly, for whatever reason, on OPGG, but I was able to look at his build and such. Later I would talk a little bit more about the TF specific, but so I had some new ideas of how to play TF. I learned that from Dopa. Also, when Dopa goes back to the Korean server about 3 weeks ago, he released one statement, and this statement basically says that oh, I haven't been really playing LoL properly, so I'm gonna be more focused. I'm just gonna be like, okay, you already reached Chinese server, the best, the most pristine server, rank number 1, and you said you are not playing LoL properly. Okay. And then he just stopped streaming, stopped uploading his videos. There's another reason, which was that in Dopa's early career, he was playing in Korean. And in Korea, you have to have a social security number. You have to be a Korean resident in order to play in the Korean server, unless your account is given by the Korean Riot, right? But Dopa like maybe back in season 1, 2, he helped people boost account a lot, and he got found out. So his social security number is got permanently banned by Riot Korea. Over the years, he went back to play on the Korean server like from time to time, and he gets ranked number 1 in the Korean server multiple times. But whenever he does that, he's always using someone else's social security number and account, which is against the rules, right? There was one time, I believe it was last season, that he reached rank 1 in Korea, and obviously he was using someone else's account. And when we went to the leaderboard, and we can see that his account was at rank number 1, right? Name obviously is not Dopa, but his name is rank number 1. And after hitting rank number 1, his account got permanent banned. And the Riot Korean changed that account's name to permanent banned with a long number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for like about 3-4 days, the rank number 1 in Korea was permanent banned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So swag, right? So that's Dopa. And I suspect that's one of the reasons that he couldn't stream and then couldn't upload any YouTube videos to his YouTube channel because he doesn't want to get banned while he's climbing, right? It's kind of frustrating. I think he told like Riot Korea that he wanted to donate $100,000 to get his social security unbanned from Korea, but that offer wasn't like being accepted. So anyway, I got some inspiration from Dopa that he wanted to be like focused to climb, right? And I was like, if Dopa can like stop streaming or just focus on climbing, like I certainly can, right? Yeah, there's no reason for me not to. Yeah, so that was one of the motivations to climb as well. And in terms of what I learned from this climb, nothing really new. A lot of ideas that I previously have been reinforced through this climb. What are the ideas? So Dopa once said, if I want to climb, I shall climb. Okay? It has a lot of confidence. And he did that multiple times. I take my understanding of what he said, that what he mean by saying that is another popular, well-known sentence, which is, if there's a will, there's a way, right? If you truly want to like improve, you truly want to climb, you will find a way to climb. And by using those ways, and you will climb. You may not climb as fast as Dopa, right? But you will always improve. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna list several ways that I use that help me climbing. Obviously, there are so many other ways that can help you do it. It just demonstrates that if you have a will, you will find ways to climb. Okay, several examples, right? So I play Twisted Fate, right? Exclusively, right? Pretty much. So how do I get good at Twisted Fate? I play custom matches, right? I practice CS every single day, right? Every single day, at least a few games, right? I practice CS. I know the timer, right? What is the perfect CS at certain timer, right? And if you are trying to be good at top lane, mid lane, or ADC, right? I feel like taking a champion into a custom game and to practice CS day in and day out consistently, it's just the very first step, right? And after that, and also whenever I fight versus opponent that gives me a little bit of trouble, like fight versus Zed, fight versus Yasuo or whatever, I go to YouTube. I watch like 3 or 4, right? Dopas, right? Other Master Challenger players, right? Even coaching sessions of TF, how TF play versus this specific champion. Or I just gonna do some research of that specific champion, right? Every single time, there's no exception, right? Just to make my 1v1 better, right? And I feel like if anyone plays top lane or mid lane, that's something that is really essential, right? And what else? If you play jungle, right? If you play jungle and then you have never really go to YouTube, right? Watch a jungle clear guide, right? How to clear the jungle, how to like some little tricks of how to use your specific champion to clear the jungle faster, right? What is your fastest full clear timer, right? If you have never practiced that and then you play jungle, okay, you should, well, I don't want to say you should stop playing jungle, you should get out of jungle, but you are not trying hard. You do not have a will to improve, right? And then if you are not improving, there you go. You have a way, right? It's just if you want to do it or not, right? I'm not criticizing that if somebody doesn't want to improve, right? Because there was really like kind of a waking up moment for me that I was playing with a buddy of mine, and he was kind of struggling on his champion a lot, and then there were some obvious things that he did that doesn't really make sense, and I was like, maybe if you want to go to a 1v1 with me, and then I can just give you a couple of hints, then you can perform a lot better in the future. And he was like, nah, there's no need. So to me, 1v1, right? It's the best way to learn. If anybody wants to 1v1 me, I'll be like, yes, please. I actively looking for people to 1v1 me, okay? Like for me to improve. But for him, it wasn't a thing that he even wants to consider, even though he was struggling, even though he clearly wants to win. So for me, it's like not everybody takes the game as serious as I do, I feel like, or different people have different approach. If the reason that you play the game is to like relax, right, after like hours of working, right, you have a day job, right? You need to feed your family, right? You're not taking a long break like me, and yeah, you just play the game to have fun, play the game to hang out with friends. That's respectful, right? That's respectful. But for me, playing the game means I have to climb, I have to improve. If I'm not improving, if I'm not climbing, there's no fun in playing the game at all. Okay? And yeah, that's what I mean by if there's a will, there's a way. If you don't have the will to improve, to climb, then I feel like you don't really get to complain about why you are not climbing. Okay, why do I say like so much? I think I heard a lot of people complain about the current states of the game and how bad their teammate performs. But yeah, maybe this is a little response to that. Okay, yeah, maybe let's back to some more specific tips. Right? What are the ways that can help you improve? Okay, first of all, I think that you absolutely need to main one role. Right? You shouldn't even play your secondary. Honestly, if you are truly wants to climb, and on that main role, you need to main 1 or 2 champions. Okay, I play League of Legends for 8 seasons. I play so many different champions, so many different roles. Right? I play top lane, got to diamond multiple times. I play jungle, same thing. Bottom, I wasn't really playing bottom because I don't like to play with another teammate, but I play bottom at the okay degree as well. So I play all the roles, but I feel like when I truly climb, when I truly improve as a player, was the time that I main a role and main a champion. Reason is that when we talk about improving as a player, you improved mainly on your decision making, on your ways to apply pressure on the map. It's not really like improving on the specific champion. What I mean by that is League of Legends is not a really hard game to play in terms of mechanically. Even the hardest champion, mechanically, Riven, right? Maybe Nidalee, maybe Yasuo, I don't know. Those champions, if you just spend like 1 day, what about 2 days, right? In purely the practice tool, right? Custom matches, you just practice the mechanics in and out, right? You will get it. The mechanic is not that hard for this game at all. What is hard is that you need to apply those mechanics into the your decision making, into your game, right? There's a lot of interactions, right, between you and your teammates, right? Middle, jungle interactions, jungle top interactions, right? Bot and support interactions. So you need to apply those mechanics, right? And by maining a champion, maining a role, you can focus on those decision makings, right? The mechanic stuff, right? The power spike stuff, the item stuff, right? The position stuff, right? All those things that which were important parts of the game becomes your second nature, becomes your muscle memory, right? How to CS, how to trade, all that, right? You can focus your energy, right, on decision making, which is the most important part of the game. If you play a Lee Sin that you like barely plays and you're mechanically like really rusty, and then you go to a game, like it's already hard enough to make the decision, and then on top of that you need to like pull off some insect. You are not going to do that. You're going to fail, right? You may do this like one time or 2 times in a game. Next game you are going to fail, right? Same thing for any champions that you have not been maining. Okay, so that's maining a champion is really important. How to main a champion, how to like always get your main role, I mentioned that in my last video, which is when you queue up first, second. If you queue up for 1 minute and 5 seconds, before that you always get your main role. 1 minute and 5 seconds and more, the longer you queue up, stays in the queue, the longer you the higher the chance you have to play your secondary role or to get autofill. So always cancel your queue at 1 minute and 5 seconds, right? It can take like some time for you to find a match, especially during like the time that the league has a very low population, but you know, you shouldn't play during low population time either way. I will go into that. But yes, always play your main role, main champions, for the sake of improving and climbing. And population, like downtime. Yeah, what is a good time to play? Do not play after midnight. Absolutely do not play after midnight. Why is that? Because if you stay overnight, right? You play after midnight. What are the people that play with you after midnight? The people that stay overnight, right? Everybody is like tilted. Everybody is tired. Everybody is like impatient. Everybody's lack of sleep. Like you guys is all decision making. You guys is all like patient, morale, right? Environment of your team is just bad. Okay, the quality of the game, just the average quality of the game is just dropped. Okay, you know that. I know that. We all experience that. And also during the night, there are more duels, and there are more Smurf duels for some reason. Okay, because the people that Smurf, people that boost other accounts, really doesn't have a life. Well, I don't really have a life right now, but you know, yeah, that's another topic. But yes, they like to play during the night. Okay, so I don't know if you want to play versus boosters, right? Or play with boosters. Yeah, you can say, yeah, there's a 50-50 chance I may get a booster myself, or well, technically you only have 4 chances, 4 rows, because there only can be 4 other players on your team, but there will be 5 other players on the enemy team. So the enemy team will have a higher chance of getting a booster if you are not a booster yourself, right? So you already lose on that side. Plus, when having a booster on the enemy team. It's not necessarily the case, especially for me. I'm the player that can absorb a tremendous amount of pressure. If I see a booster on the enemy team, the very first thing that I hope for is that the booster plays middle, okay? And then he has a booster jungler duo that plays jungle, right? So middle jungle combination versus me. Why is that? Because my biggest strength is that I can play under pressure. Okay, I will never like fall like under pressure. I will never like collapse under pressure. Very rarely. That is my biggest strength, right? I've been called like KDA player, right? Both positively or negatively, right? As a compliment or as a flame by different people many times. So that's my biggest strength, but that may not be your biggest strength, right? Even that is your biggest strength, that you can fight versus Smurf, right? Your teammate may not. The biggest like struggle for me to play versus boosters is not that I cannot keep up with the boosters. Is that because I play TF, it's hard for me to really like, it's not as easy for me to catch teammates' mistakes compared to some other assassin champions. Let's say if they play LeBlanc, let's say if they play Zed, right? Yes, I can have a 2.5 minute like ultimate, right? Whenever I ultimate, it's not on cooldown, I can make a play. But during those windows, the boosters just roams into jungle and kill my jungler, and I can do nothing about that. And my teammates cannot keep up with the booster. And yeah, just don't play with the boosters, right? Especially past midnight. So don't play overnight. The best time to play solo queue, right, to climb is during the morning. During the morning, not like too early in the morning. If you play like at 6, 7 o'clock, or even 8 o'clock, right? Depending on what time zone you are in. If like I'm in the central time zone, so my 8 o'clock is California's 6 o'clock. Like there may be some people that are still playing overnight at 6 o'clock in California, right? At about 9, 10 o'clock, everybody just freshly like got up, right? Those games are like quality games if you have the luxury to play during those times, right? And my climbs are mainly like being done during those times. Okay, I play like started from like 10 o'clock and into the afternoon, a few games into the night. Every day I play about maybe 10 games or so. Anyway, so that's about time. What else? Another idea that has been reinforced through this climb is that people are really toxic. And usually toxic people that like type in the chat that they are not very smart. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that I started playing on, what is it? Geograph. Low gold, right? Low gold to like low platinum, and then all the way to low diamond. Can I say low diamond right now? Yeah, maybe low diamond. So people like to type, right? People like to show that how right they are, how good they are, and how bad their teammate is. This is just absurd. Like, this idea is just so doesn't fit with me at all, right? Because if you are in a team sports, right, no matter if you are like playing real sports, basketball, football, right, do you trash talk your teammates when your teammate make a mistake? You need to like encourage your teammates. You need to pick them up, right? If you are in doing a group project, right, physics, right, coding, computer, whatever the thing is, right? If your partner is like not doing their job, or like they're not doing as good of a job, do you just flame him, or do you try to help him? You should try to help him. I feel like in a real world, there's like in no case, no scenario that you are gonna flame the people that have a common goal with you, right? You are trying to fight the enemy fight, right? And all the things you have is yourself and your teammates. You have each other, but you're gonna flame your teammates to distract them, right? To show that you are better than your teammate, other than you try your best to win the game. Like, it's just fundamentally stupid, okay? if you ever start typing in the game and then to tell your teammate how bad they are, like what kind of a mistake they make or they type to you, I feel like this behavior is just fundamentally wrong. Okay? And let me give you another example. Like for me, it's just like, to my experience, most of the times that people flame, people say things, complain about things, doing game after game, they may or may not have a point, but usually they don't. Why? Just based on this climb, right? Based on this climb, I'm at what? This account, I'm at about 0.7%, right, of the whole population, which is nothing, right? So many people that are better than me, but I'm better than 99% of the player base, right? And if you are low gold, all the way to like low platinum, like high mid platinum, high platinum, you are below me. I'm sorry, just in terms of ranking, purely ranking wise. So let me give you an example. So you are kind of like a middle class, right? You're kind of like a college student, right? In terms of your economic status, right? You're gonna fling a millionaire, you're gonna fling a multi-millionaire of how to make money, how to manage money. You are out of your mind, right? The things you said are just purely stupid. You're gonna tell them what stock to buy because that stock gives you like $100. You are wrong. Okay, I'm sorry, you are wrong. But I never type back at all, right? Usually I'm just like, at this point, I don't even like mute all like every single game anymore because I'm kind of like past that. But if I'm having a bad day, I still mute all. I don't mute all because if I see somebody's like typing, somebody's having a bad game, kind of just calm them down a little bit, because when there's a wave coming, I may just give them the wave, right? Make them feel better. When they make a good play, I actually just encourage them, because my goal is to win the game, right? And then, yeah. So why do I say so much about that? Yeah, do not type in the chat. If you are good, climb up. Okay, climb up. So if you already climb up, you are better than the people that were flaming you, right? You prove by action. You don't prove by words on the internet, right? Do not type. Do not teach teammates their mistakes, right? It's always about yourself. And your improvement, your climbing is the most important thing, right? Talking about improvement, how to improve. I already talked about like doing the CS drills, doing the 1v1s. There's another thing, which is watch your own replay, right? I watched pretty much every single of my replay, every single one. So this says promoted to Diamond 5. Okay, I watched pretty much every single one. I'm gonna watch this one later. Every time I finished playing a game, what I do is that I just download the game and then rewatch it, right? Every time you see I have death, right? Every single death is avoidable. Well, not really, but you can learn a thing or two from all the death that you have, right? And my ultimate, every single ultimate usage, I can just learn, watch and learn if I did it correctly or no. Every CS, right? Every trade during the landing phase. If I don't watch my own replay, how am I gonna know if I did it correctly or no? We all watch a lot of LCS, right? Strings, highlights, all that, right? We all have some like basic or some good understanding of what is a good play, what is a bad play, right? But very rarely, I only started recently, very rarely we watch our own replay. What is the reason of that? I cannot understand at all. Okay, so watch the replay. It's very, very, very important, and take notes of what you do, like what you did, right or wrong, right? Early game, mid game, late game. There's a guide that says you need to like pay attention to your early game, mid game, and late game. You need to have a Google Docs that separate these three parts. You need to write it down specifically. so that you can improve. For me, I play so much these days, I don't. Well, I probably should write it down, but I'm getting a little bit lazy here. My willpower is not that strong. You can see right here, right? So if you don't have the willpower to watch the replay, there you go. Don't complain. Don't complain when you're not climbing. Okay. Yeah. What else? Yes, watch the replay. Why watching the replay is also very important. There's one very strong example, which is LeBron James, right? Best basketball player currently on the planet. There was one time that a reporter asked him, just this year, asked him why he lost the game 1 in the Eastern Conference Final versus the Boston Celtics. Right? Listen to what he said. Okay.
Marla Reinhart, Akron Media Journal. When the start of the fourth, I think they cut it to 14. Do you have any idea what? I mean, I think they scored 7 quick ones. Anything? What happened there?
What happened? We ran them the first possession. We ran them down all the way to 2 on the shot clock. Marcus Morris missed a jump shot. Followed it up. They got a dunk. We came back down. We ran a set for Jordan Clarkson, and he came off and missed the rebound. And we came back on the defensive end, and we got a stop. He took it off the sideline. Jason Tatum took the ball out, threw to Marcus Smart in the short corner. He made a 3. We come back down, missed another shot. And then Tatum came down and went 94 feet, did a no step, and made a right hand with a timeout. There you go.
Last question, Steve.
So basically, the reporter asked him what happened, right? When he was like, the opponent scored 7 points straight. He just record every single play, right? He just recall that, right? And that's one of the ways, right, that he becomes the best player, right, on the planet. What are some other things that he does? He trains every single day, which is what we should do. Fight the 1v1s, do the CS drills every single day, right? He watch the tapes, right? And then he recall his own plays. There you go. Okay, that's how you improve, right? What else I want to say? That's LeBron James. Tips and tricks. Dueling. Yeah, let's talk about dueling. So for this climb, I again didn't duel at all. There's a player that I played 2 games with, I believe. He's just a random. He's 1 game here, 1 game here. We just randomly queue up into each other. Yes, this game I didn't duel at all, right? And a matter of fact, when I was dueling, I was actually really like stuck at the low yell. I'm sorry, but yeah. Reason is that a lot of things that I said, like self-improving, right? Have a strong will, right? And take breaks in between games, right? Review your own gameplay, focus on yourself. All these things, if you have all these things, you should climb by yourself. Okay? And if you are dueling, you are enjoying each other's company, right? For me, when I'm dueling, I'm having fun with my duel partner, which is fun, which is definitely fun. Don't get me wrong, I like dueling. It's just that I always put improving and then climbing as my #1 goal while playing this game, League of Legends, especially when I'm trying to climb. And then dueling really counters that idea, because you cannot make sure that your duel partner is following all the things that you are trying to follow. Your duel partner is trying to improve the way like you are trying to improve, right? You don't know the condition of your duel partner, and if you are being carried by your duel partner, you're not really learning the game, getting better at the game, right? And maybe you can't really truly say you reached a certain division if you are dueling, in my opinion, but it's okay. That's just my take on dueling. I always don't like to duel, okay, in terms of climbing wise. And that's just sums up pretty much everything that I want to say about the tips or my experience of this climb. The following sections, I'm going to talk about a little bit more TF specific, which is just a short thing. Last time I talked about, I like to go into, what is it? Build, yeah, build. Arcing Common, Mana Flow. I go Celerity and Scorch. I didn't know that Celerity was nerfed, right? The last time that I played was last winter. Everybody was taking Celerity, but Celerity was getting nerfed. And nowadays, everybody is taking Absolute Focus. So take Absolute Focus then, right? Even Doba is taking Absolute Focus. Where's Doba? Yeah, Doba Absolute Focus. Absolute Focus. So take Absolute Focus, right? Instead of Celerity. And what Doba takes for the secondary tree is Perfect Timing plus Minion Dementalizer. He always he likes Minion Dementalizer a lot, even it's like getting nerfed multiple times, because he is a master of lane control. I'm not really good at that. And also when he takes the Perfect Timing, it wasn't nerfed, right? The most recent patch is the Perfect Timing is getting nerfed. The timer, the active timer, available timer becomes 10 minutes instead of 8 minutes. The timer is like being nerfed by 2 minutes. And then he hasn't been really playing TF after that. So I don't know what he's taking nowadays, but he's taking this too. What I take is that I like to take those two if I'm in a favorable or easy matchup, so to speak. And if not, I'm taking the Bone Planting, which is really the tanky thing that help you survive. And then this one. This one is really good. This one not only gives you 50 health. I was debating a lot about like second wing, because if you are getting poked a lot, second wing against poke, right? That's just common sense. And then if you are regening more than 50 health, is second wing better? Like doing landing phase compared to this crystallines? Not really, because after you have 4 assist, you gain adaptive bonus like power, which is like 15 AP. And then TF after the landing phase, after like level 5, level 6, we don't have a landing phase anymore. We don't need to stay in land and get poked down and then to get the health regen back through the second wing. We need an AP to shaft away fast. And then we are get out of the land, we are just roaming, right? So this one sometimes makes more sense. Okay. And then if it's in a kind of a easy matchup, so to speak, I can get away with. This is versus Akko. If Akko gets on me, I need defense. This one is versus Anivia. If Anivia lands a combo, I need a defense. This one Akko again, and that again hard. Fizz again kind of hard. Why do I think this is easy? Because this one is Yasuo. Yasuo, interesting. Yeah, I take this versus Yasuo because I watched how Doba plays. I did okay. And then this one is versus Veigar. Yeah, easy matchup. So easy matchup, I go that. So yeah, every other things is pretty standard. You go Rod of Ages, right? Rod of Ages first item versus Assassin, right? Melee Assassin. You go Seekers, and then you may go Hourglass earlier than the Leech Band, but usually Rod of Ages into Leech Band, into Hourglass, into situational items after that, right? In terms of starting items, you go Boots 4 pots in the matchups that you want to dodge some shit. And if you don't want to dodge some shit, then you take Dorian Rain plus 2 pots. Okay. And that's about it, I think. Yeah, this climb. Oh yeah, let's talk about some specific stats of my climb. So this account has reached about Diamond 4 MMR about 1.6% already. So Diamond 50 RP, which is okay. For the last 50-60 games, I have a 63% win rate and 4.24 KDA, which is pretty good, right? Which is pretty good, because if you look at my overall like rank solo KDA, and the win rate is actually lower than that. The reason is that I was playing at a low gold all the way to low platinum, right? I wasn't really like focusing. That's an excuse, but it's whatever real reason. But yes, I wasn't really focusing. I was dueling, I was streaming, all that. But the higher I play, the higher I go, the easier that the Twisted Fate it's gonna like perform, play. So I'm not very happy about my performance, but I'm okay. It's alright. If I want to show the more recent one, yeah, 72% win rate, right? 13.5, about 3.8 KDA, which is okay. Something that I'm not very happy with of my Twisted Fate performance was that I always have a score like not many kills, a few deaths, and tons of assists, like 6-4-11, 1-6-14. I believe there's a game that I even go like, where was it? 3-4-17, yeah, something like that. It's pretty nasty, not very good. And then my CS is not very high, right? 6.7 is just barely acceptable, right? There's a saying that certain marks that you have to hit in order to climb by playing a certain champion, which is you have to have 55% win rate in your most recent matches, 55% win rate, 3 KDA, and 6 or 6.5 CS per minute. So I'm like barely past that. So my CS is really low comparing to like Dopa's CS. There's not comparable, right? He's have almost like 9 CS per minute. His kills and assists are almost identical compared to mine. 4.5, 7.6. Right? 4.5, 7.6. His death is like way lower than me. Not way lower. 2.6 is the average, about like 1 lower than me. And he has more CS. So he's more like, if I'm a KDA player, if I'm a passive, like reserved player, he's more into that, or he's more like better at the champion, better at the game overall. So I have a long way to go. Okay. So now I have my 2 accounts at Diamond. Like I have 4 accounts, but the other 2 accounts I have never started placement. Well, actually, there's one account I hit Diamond and then it dropped back to DK back to Gold 1 after half a year of never playing, but it's okay. I'm not gonna climb another account back to Diamond anymore. If I keep playing this game, I will try to climb higher. Okay, and hopefully I can upload more YouTube videos to just record my journey. Most likely I will not be streaming though, and I already mentioned all the reasons. This video is like extremely long, okay? I don't know. If you watch all the way to the end, let me know. Give me a like, or just let me know I watched all the way to the end. I'm just curious, like, who the hell have the patience to watch all that? And maybe let me know what you think about this, okay? And thanks a lot for listening to my rant. And I will see you next time, hopefully soon, okay? All right. Have a nice one, guys. Peace.